Thank you. Welcome. It is 6:38 p.m. on July 29th. We're calling this meeting to order. We do have a quorum present here. We have in order Aaron Orr from Friends of the LA River, Nurit Katz from LA Audubon Society, Glenn Bailey, the alternate for Resource Conservation District of the Santa Monica Mountains. Pat Bates is here, so and Terry Bailey, Teresa Bailey from San Fernando Valley Sierra Club.
I'm Bailey, she's Brady.
Brady, I'm so sorry. I'm very resistant to wearing my reading glasses to meetings.
Okay, we all.
And we have Miriam Kreisel from the Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council, and I will note Glenn Bailey is the regular rep for Encino NC. Therefore, the meeting is called to order. We have a quorum. I will read out the guests online. We have Jack Dorfman from Assemblyman Jesse Gabriel's office, Hannah Wayland from the Army Corps of Engineers, Rosie Avatisian from Council District 6, Ann Abramson. She's, I know, an Audubon member and also a CN California Native Plant Society person. Nurit is also online, and then Muriel Houghton.
Oh, I just was getting on.
Just don't make sure your mic is, make sure your mic's muted, otherwise we'll have a real issue.
Yeah, I'm not connected to audio at all. I'm just looking.
Got it. And Muriel from Audubon Society.
And me.
Melanie Winter.
Oh, Melanie, I'm so sorry. Oh, there you are, right? You're right in the middle of everything. Melanie, she has a medical excuse, so she will be a voting.
As well.
She's a voting member.
It has to be contagious disease if it's medical.
Yeah.
Or physical disability for those.
It's in that category.
It's in that
I'm in
category.
that
It's a
category.
serious-
Yeah. She certainly doesn't want to catch anything.
That too.
So the first.
Okay, then we need to, for the minutes, this board needs to, I don't know if you have it on the agenda, but we need to do the Assembly Bill 2449 approval. Is that on here?
No. We've never done that on this agenda.
We have in the past.
Huh?
We have in the past. I think.
The approval for remote participation.
Yeah,
I think we have done in the past for Melanie, but I thought we had done it as an ongoing, because she had. I thought. Yeah.
I don't think that's the way the law is written.
Okay, well, we can do it again.
I think you need
verbalize
to, I
it.
think you have to make the finding each time. And there's also a limit on the number of times per year. You can only do it 2 times per year. So, you know, it's very restrictive. So
Well,
anyway,
I'm not even sure we got a lot to vote on, so.
I don't think we have a lot to vote on, so,
just so we have quorum.
okay, we have a
I
quorum.
would make,
I think we have a quorum without Melanie.
We have quorum without Melanie.
right, so, but what's, I don't know why you don't wanna,
Should we do
Just-
this?
We can, if you have no.
We can, you tell me what to do.
that we, the motion would be that we approve the participation of Melanie Winter as one of the authorized, pursuant to the provisions of Assembly Bill 2449 exceptions.
Thank you.
Well, I'll second that. Thank you.
No objections.
Do we have any objection to that?
Yeah.
No objection from the quorum present, so the motion passes. Thank you.
So if this is gonna be an ongoing thing, it should be on the agenda.
Okay, I'll put it on next
You know,
time.
up towards the top, I think.
Okay, do we have, and from the attendees? Okay, do we have any, oh, we didn't get to the minutes yet. So we have approved, Melanie as a, voting member tonight. I would like to make a motion. We approve the minutes of the May 27th meeting.
Second?
Do we have any comment?
Yeah, I would like to ask, it says the notes were prepared by AI
Yeah,
with your assistance.
it's Zoom, artificial intelligence, and what I do is I go through and edit it to make sure it's accurate after, and I'm using that for the meeting notes.
Oh, okay. I don't remember saying I would be the one who would monitor the state climate bond for the committee, but I see it on the agenda, I see the link. And I did look at it a little bit.
Okay,
I'm not sure I'll be the person to make.
was this the, measure 4?
See, right there, it says Teresa will monitor climate bond.
Yeah, you did say you would.
Well, monitor doesn't mean you would do the application, it just
No.
means let us know when like.
Yeah, let us know when applications can be made, what's happening with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nobody's expecting you to like.
No, you don't have to do
application
anything.
here.
Okay,
So AI was right, but yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
I do remember that.
Well, we have a recording, you can always confirm stuff.
It's always recorded.
You
Okay,
guys do a really good job.
so other than that, are we good with the minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, any objection? So the minutes are approved. Do we have any public comment on non-agenda items within our subject jurisdiction? If there's nobody in attendance, so if you're online, please raise your hand. And I am seeing none. I'll give it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm not sure how to raise my hand, but I'll do it here too. And I'm sorry, I'm not sure if this is the appropriate place to speak up. My name is Gabriel Vargas from LADWP. I just wanted to provide just an update on the groundwater replenishment project, but I can yield to the more appropriate time.
I think, Gabriel, you could be counted as a government agency. There's a section that's reports from government agencies, so
Okay.
DWP can get part of that.
Excellent.
That's great. Thank you,
Thank you.
Gabriel.
I'll stand by. Thank you.
We will, okay, I'd like to first, then Gabriel will call on you. I'm just gonna note your name here. Hannah from the Army Corps of Engineers is here. Hannah, would you like to have a few words for us?
Yeah, hi everyone. Not too much to update. We are still working on the master plan for Sepulveda and Hanson and still looking through those public comments. We will be having a site visit with the team that works on the master plan. That will be at the end of August. And we will be doing a walkthrough with them and talking to the various lessees about the master plan. And then I guess the other thing I would like to talk about is the fire plan that's kind of been floating around the steering committee. So I'm happy to comment on that and we can discuss that at a later time. But that's all from me.
Yeah, we are interested in the fire plan. I know there's a couple different aspects. One is some brush clearance and the other is the burn bot project, which we can update on later. So do you have any news on that?
No news in particular. We are working with the lessees on the best way to at least do the brush clearance portion of it. And I did see that there's a meeting next week that I will be attending to discuss that project.
Okay. Let's see. And, oh, is there any, last year there was a plan to do some significant clearance through the LA River Channel. Is that work going to be recommenced this year? Because I think they couldn't get a contractor last year.
We are doing some work in the LA River, but I am not exactly sure if it's within the Sepulveda Basin boundary.
Okay. Thank you. Does the committee here have any questions for Hannah?
What was the time frame of the meeting with the master plan meeting, the time frame?
Hannah, for the master plan, you said that you will, you folks at the Army Corps will be meeting later in the month on that, correct? Later in August?
Correct. Yes, we will be meeting August 25th through the 29th. So that whole week we will be out doing site visits at Sepulveda, Hansen, and then a few of our other dams that we're working on the master plan for.
Wonderful.
And then those next steps as it relates to Sepulveda Basin after that in terms of time frame?
Yeah, so Glenn was wondering what the next steps are then for the master plan.
And time frame specific.
Yeah, time frame.
After the August.
Sure, yeah.
That's-
So after our site visit, we would have another meeting internally to discuss the different land use classifications. And then the final draft would go out, I believe, sometime next year, early next year, 2026. So that would be another opportunity for the steering committee to comment on the master plan.
So it'll be early next year, and will that be out for a 45-day period for comment, or?
Typically it would be a standard 30-day, but if the committee wishes, we can extend to a 45-day. That's not a problem.
Thank you, because with our meeting schedule every other month, it can run into an issue. Thank you.
And we formally
Sure.
make that request now, because even if we met every month, that's the 30 days right there between times. So
Yeah, so Glenn would like to request that we have a 45-day comment period.
I'd actually like to request a 60-day, but I'll take what
He said he'd like 60, but anyhow.
definitely would take the 45. We can get
Sure,
there.
absolutely. That's not a problem. I will bring it up to the team.
And then obviously, if we have a heads up, when we know it's coming, if we need to schedule a special meeting to make sure we fit into that schedule, that would be helpful.
Yes, absolutely. I will keep you updated on all the steps.
Thank you. Okay, do we have
So-
any other questions?
You know, I sent you and Glenn that picture of the river down by the orange line, and that we heard vector control won't go down, and because they can't go down without enforcement.
Right,
So who is handling that? Because you know, we have West Nile virus signs up, and
Mhm.
it just came out on CBS that a lot of areas in Lake Balboa and surrounding areas.
we've got West Nile virus now. So, Hannah, the question is from Miriam. They discovered that the vector control folks won't go down in the river bottom. This would be west of Balboa Boulevard without enforcement, without law enforcement accompanying. So
We don't think it's
this may
State
be
Street.
something that Rosie from CD6 will be able to address.
Yeah, unfortunately, that would not be in the Corps' jurisdiction to do something like that. We don't have law enforcement that works with us.
Right.
We have to either contact county sheriff or individual city police to do that.
Do they
Okay.
Thank
you.
Do they do mosquito abatement in river?
Yeah, the vector control people
No,
do.
that
Oh,
Army Corps.
do you do mosquito abatement in the river?
No, that's also not in our purview.
What about the backing up of the river? Because it's been backed up at the orange line for a while.
Sure. So we do have contracts where we will be doing vegetation and sediment removal, but again, it really all depends on funding and personnel at this time.
So it just remains backed up until then? Because I think there was some work that blocked it with some work that had already been done. If you could look into it.
Yeah, if,
We
you know,
look at it.
Sure,
every
yeah.
day.
if you could take a look over there, I think that would be great.
Sure, I will definitely take a look.
And also, I heard that there are a lot of homeless and they're over 150 and they're in the sewer systems right there.
Yeah, well, the Corps isn't gonna, I think we should get to Rosie because she'll have more information on that, I would think.
I never know who's responsible for what in the river, so I thought I'd bring it up and.
The Corps really does, I should let Hannah answer, but they don't have the resources to directly deal with any of that. And Hannah, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, well, in also the resources, but our mission does not directly support removal of homeless people experiencing homelessness. We do debris removal and trash removal, but in order for us to do a homeless encampment cleanup, we would have to coordinate with the city or the county in order to do that. And then also a lot of the land in Sepulveda is leased out, and so the responsibility should fall on the lessee to do those types of cleanups, not the Army Corps.
And I hear sheriffs have been in there all week. Do you know anything about that?
I don't.
Okay.
Okay,
But just to clarify, sorry, if it's not leased out, it's, in other words, the Army Corps of Engineers, the primary agency, then everything would fall to the Corps' responsibility, right? Whether they did it with your own staff or you contracted it out, you would
Yes.
deal with, right? Okay.
so that
Yes,
would
that
be
is correct.
reserve area, yeah,
Well, and the LA River.
and the LA River.
Proper. Okay.
Okay. Seeing no, do we have any questions from the attendees? Please raise your hand if you do, and I don't see any. I'd like to, we have nobody from Rec and Parks at the meeting again.
I did actually have one more question for Hannah.
What?
I had one question for Hannah.
Oh, we've got a question for Hannah.
Does the meeting that she was discussing next week, where they will be talking about the fire and brush clearance, is that an internal meeting for the Army Corps only, or is that a meeting that we might know about as well?
I think there may be two meetings. I think one, Nareet with the burn back thing next week, or
The meeting next week is not with Brenda, it's
with Jesse Gabriel.
Jesse Gabriel's office.
Right, so yeah, the meeting next week is with the assemblyman, and the Corps may have a separate meeting with the fire department there.
Okay.
So are we welcome at this meeting, a walkthrough with Jesse Gabriel, or some of us about?
I don't know, we can check in.
I'll check,
Jack is on the call, isn't he?
yeah, Jack is on the call.
Yeah, so,
I'll get to Jack later and we'll ask.
okay, yeah, we can check with Jack if it's open to other committee members or if they wanted to limit the participants.
Yeah.
And then, as far as Rec and Parks, I did email Matt, but he was out of town at the time of my email, so I'm
Okay.
gonna check back in.
I have emailed them repeatedly.
Yeah,
I don't understand,
yeah.
but,
Well, I think if they are currently unable to send a representative to the committee meetings, I think we should just set up a meeting with Rec and Parks leadership to talk.
well, I'm glad to do that, but somebody could, they could answer an email. I'm frankly really ticked off.
Did you include Tracy?
Huh?
Did you include Tracy?
Tracy who?
The regional supervisor?
No,
Okay.
tell me who to contact. I mean,
I mean, I'm jumping,
I've contacted everyone all up the chain. They read my emails and,
I'm just asking,
anyhow, I'm a
I'm
little
jumping,
bit
I am definitely jumping up the chain, but I haven't jumped to general manager. I've
Okay.
just jumped to, within the
Okay.
matter, so.
Wayne got a promotion, he's a supervisor now. And,
they've all read the emails,
okay,
so
all right.
anyhow, Rosie, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Rosie.
Hello.
I think you've got a lot of information for us. Good to see you.
I do. Good to see you as well. Sure, I can jump straight into it. Okay, I'll start off with everything in regards to the Sepulveda Basin because I do think there's some confusion and some overlap. So I want to provide kind of like a clean slate, and so we're all on the same page. So last Tuesday, we actually had a walkthrough of the Sepulveda Basin with Rec and
Oh.
Parks, with the fire department, the mayor's office, the the Department of Public Works, LA Conservation Corps. And it's also to my understanding that there's another walkthrough with the Assembly Member's Office, along with Nuritz, right? I believe you said you were also going to be attending that walkthrough. So I will be there as well to make sure that we're all on the same page. And then after our August 6th walkthrough, what I'll do is kind of combine both of these groups because there's absolutely no reason why we need to be having separate walkthroughs and separate meetings. This conversation involves every and all the entities that are involved in the basin. So after that August 6th walkthrough, Jack, Nuritz, everyone else who's at that walkthrough, I will include you all in our monthly and bi-weekly Sepulveda Basin meetings, just so none of this information is redundant and we're all on the same page. As for the meeting that happened last week, there were plenty of stakeholders and jurisdictions involved in that meeting. So we talked a lot about vegetation management is the proper terminology that we're going to use as it comes to the brush in the basin, right? It's not brush clearance, it's vegetation management. And I'm repeating it just so no one gets in trouble for saying the wrong things. And to make sure that we can actually get started on this. But the fire department is working on a letter to Rec and Parks and to the Army Corps of Engineers to kind of provide the zones of where the vegetation management is going to take place and to get the approval on it. As soon as we get the approval, then the fire department has a crew that will begin that vegetation clearance along the bamboos, so right near Hajelti Sports Complex. That's the first zone that they will be targeting. In addition to that, I am working with street services to get a lane closure for median maintenance for the area surrounding the Sepulveda Basin. So as you've all probably noticed, on Balboa from Victory to Burbank has been cleared. The next area is going to be on Woodley from Burbank to Victory, and then we'll do Burbank from Woodley to Havenhurst. So that's also in the works, and in the weeks to come, I will have more updates, but that operation will be done by LA Conservation Corps, and the Department of Public Works has been helping me coordinate that. So that's happening. Along with that, we're also having a lot of discussion with the mayor's office about possibly bringing an inside safe operation to the different zones of the basin to house as many folks as we can. I'm waiting to get a date for a meeting with the mayor's office to discuss the logistics of this, but that's something that is also being coordinated. And yeah, these meetings are happening a lot more frequently now. The only not even issue, but it's just a matter of making sure that we're all on the same page and that we have Army Corps representation along with Rec and Parks. So yeah, all of that is unfolding. Like I said, I am happy to also invite the Wildlife Steering Committee, Audubon Society, or a representative of each to these meetings. And I did mention that to the entirety of the group as well. I told them that we need folks from the Wildlife Steering Committee because they, quite frankly, know a lot of information that we don't as it pertains to the wildlife species that we have there. all the ecological factors, so they were on board with it. I will be bridging that gap, so you know, you will be included in those meetings, but again, these are all internal meetings. It's not like a public meeting, and once we have more concrete information of certain dates and what exactly is happening, I'm happy to present that to the neighborhood councils, to the different communities, but for now, it's definitely internal, and to make sure that we have all the stakeholders present, and to make sure that we don't repeat any, or we don't have any mistakes that we end up repeating in the future, so.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's really helpful. I think even if it's an internal meeting, if it's possible to include Pat as the current chair of this committee as a liaison, that would be, I think, really helpful, especially since she's already working with a number of these stakeholders on relevant issues.
Already noted, yes, I'm on it.
Thank you.
And quick question on the median clearing, what's the time frame, the LA Conservation Corps? What's,
So-
is that all medians, you know, Balboa, Burbank, Woodley, and what's the time frame?
Yeah, so it would be all of them. They gave me a time frame for Woodley from Burbank to Victory, and that would be about 5 business days, so about a week. I just don't have the dates yet because I need street services to let me know when they can do the lane closure. So I'm just waiting for the lane closure details, and then the crews can get started right away. So what I'm thinking is for the remaining stretches, it would probably be about a 2.5 week operation. Also
So-
another
so-
thing that, oh, yes,
So
I'm sorry.
like August, is that fair? During the month of
Yes.
August?
Yes, yeah. I'm happy to send a follow-up email once I hear back and once I know the official date, so I can do that as well.
Okay, thanks.
And then I do also want to mention this because this is something I've been thinking about a lot. If there are any, I guess, certain types of species of plants that don't need too much water or an irrigation system, things of that nature that we can kind of do maybe like a Sepulveda Basin median beautification project. That's something that I've been thinking about that I would want to do and that I'll advocate for on behalf of the council office. The reason why, just to kind of provide some details, when we had the median maintenance last year, our office allocated money to street services, and they ended up doing the median clearance along with tree trimming, but that cost a lot of money from our office because it wasn't allocated in the budget. So this year, because we're using Conservation Corps and they have the funds to do it, we won't be allocating that money from our funds. So I think that would pave a way for me to advocate for median beautification since we're not allocating money for the median maintenance, if that makes sense. I just I do think that area deserves a really nice facelift, and if we can make it greener and prettier and not just, you know, put concrete all over it, I think that would be a really, really good idea. I don't know the logistics. I'm happy to look into it. I'm happy to work with you all too to kind of identify some of these species or any like landscaping ideas or even any third-party contractors you might know of that can kind of help speed it along and do it for a fair price with the city. Again, I have to follow up on the logistics, but just to throw that idea out there, that is something that I would want to focus on as well.
Yeah, that's fantastic, and I think our committee can definitely provide some native plant recommendations that could be both beautiful, but also appropriate to climate, not require water, et cetera.
We definitely can. I've actually been doing some research into that and even talked with the burn bot guys about running the burn bot over the medians to sterilize them and then reseeding.
Yeah.
And you know,
The only thing,
Yeah, go
the only
ahead.
thing I would add is that if we're going to do that, I think it's a great idea, and this committee can certainly help choose the plants. I would recommend that you, in advance, make a plan to support irrigation out there for the first few years.
Yes.
They'll do
Yeah.
fine. They'll do fine after they've established, but you have to support their establishment.
right, yeah,
It's a
so,
little tricky in a median, so I think it's probably worthy of a longer conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, there would need to be some watering plan early on. if-
there has to be water in there one way or the other, whether it's temporarily, brought in, piped in. Or, there has to be some plan, maybe take the fire department water tender and run it down the street every 2 weeks.
Yeah, I
But-
mean, the fire department's in the area anyways, that might be the simplest way to do it without endangering anyone.
Yeah, cause those water tenders it could do the whole thing.
Yeah, just go by and do.
They,
that.
cause they fill it at the, Tillman plant.
Right, it's all reclaimed water.
Yeah. But anyhow, I love the idea and yeah, that would be a very exciting possibility.
Awesome. Okay, so I can work with you, Pat, and others on this offline. I don't need to go too much into detail right now, but we can certainly talk more about it offline. But just kind of wanted.
Yeah, so I'll put a little information together that I've done research on and we'll, we'll all put our heads together and make it look pretty.
Awesome, perfect. And then I'm open to any other questions in regards to the Sepulveda Basin discussion. But yeah, like I said, throughout the next week and a half or so, I will invite all the remaining stakeholders to these meetings and combine the assembly member's office to these ongoing conversations, and then we'll all be able to operate from the same page.
All right, do we have questions from the room? Glenn?
In terms of the conversation you've had with fire department folks, a previous meeting, we've discussed, certain species that are high fire danger, such as palm trees and palm fronds that are not trimmed up. Has that hit the radar screen? And the fire department has acknowledged that, but they did say they're not in the business of doing vegetation removal. So has there been any progress on things such as that?
No, we didn't have too much conversation about that, to be totally frank with you. However, I know that we did pass a motion for invasive species removal, so that's something that we can definitely start talking about as to which agency would be responsible for that. So that's something that I'll note and speak to Rec and Parks about too. But
Okay, so
but-
some of these lands may be on leased land of rec and parks and some are not. And there's a lot of invasive species, but some are more a fire hazard than others, I would say.
Okay.
Or they're probably all fire hazard. Some are, if they catch fire and there's a high wind event, it's gonna be more dangerous, especially for the surrounding neighborhoods.
Yeah.
What I'll do is, because I have ongoing discussions too with the Conservation Corps and they have crews, this is something that I can bring up to them to see if their crews would be able to do this type of clearance. So I will bring that up to them, and see if this is something that they have the capacity to do. But okay, I'll make a note here and then get back to you about that.
Okay.
There isn't, I understand from talking with the fire department folks, there is an issue with getting rid of palm trees. They cannot go to green waste, so they basically have to go to landfill, I guess. And it's a real issue and it would be wonderful to get in there and really just start killing all these little Mexican fan palms that are coming up everywhere.
Why
But-
can't they go to Greenways?
Huh?
Why can't they go to Greenways?
Apparently it has to do with the fibrous quality of the palm, whatever you call it, wood. And they won't take it, so it's a real issue, and we have got, these little Mexican fan palms just pop up, they're like literally weeds. And they grow fast and they get huge and they're basically super flammable. So I had a long talk with the fire department and they're dangerous. even for people pruning them.
And
Yeah.
it's a problem throughout even just on sidewalks.
Mhm.
Where they show up and no one does anything, and then before you know it, they're this big obstruction and whatever, so.
Yeah.
I think in addition to our issues here, just the city probably needs to wake up and recognize that that these volunteer palms are a widespread problem, and they need to be literally nipped in the bud as soon as they emerge from wherever it is that they're emerging. And, while they're still small enough to be able to more easily be pulled out.
Rosie, before I forget, what's up with the cameras?
Sorry, before I lose my train of thought, give me 1 second, I'll adjust the cameras. I just had 2 ideas with, sorry, they're called the Mexican, what is it called?
Fan palm,
Bam.
like fan, like a
Oh, fam.
fan.
Okay, bam, got it. So maybe, maybe we can introduce a motion citywide to kind of get rid of these before it gets out of control. So I will speak to maybe our ledge team to see if we can write up a motion about that. And then secondly, Pat, I do have a meeting tomorrow with the Conservation Corps along with Public Works that has the crews for like the weed abatement. So if you're available, I'd like to, it's a Google Meets meeting. I'd like to invite you to that meeting just to talk a little bit more about this and see if their crews can maybe handle some of this in the basin. And that way they can join the fire department when they do their vegetation management to kind of do it 2-in-1 clearance.
Yeah, that would be great. I think if you're gonna do a council motion, it might be worth considering including some other fire hazardous plants or
Yeah.
doing something a little broader rather than just focusing on the Mexican fan palm, and we'd be happy to
Okay.
connect you
Yeah,
some experts in that arena. I know a number of experts on fire resilient landscaping that I could connect you to if we did wanna put any restrictions out there on city properties or something like that.
Perfect. Okay. I will work on that and send a separate email about that too.
Okay.
And just to answer your question too, Pat, about the cameras, I spoke to Captain Joyce last week at the walkthrough, and he informed me that the initial plan was to get these cameras set up on an already existing LADOT pole. Except that plan fell through because it was gonna cost a lot more to do it that way because LADOT came up with like 50 stipulations that they had to go through in order to do that. So instead, we're gonna do it how pretty much what the money was allocated for in the first place, which is just to set up a brand new pole entirely and put the camera up. So that's what they're currently working on. And he told me that he will have more updates for me in the weeks to come. So that's what the captain told me. I will follow up with him again, but this is what he told me last week.
Okay, because I'm sure that first of all, I would like more details. I'd like to know what kind of cameras these are. I'd like to know what the capabilities are. And I think that our committee would be very interested in that, and we might put forth do what we can to really encourage doing inadequate system of surveillance, and they're probably both including license plate readers and cameras. When I talked with the fire captain and the battalion chief the other day, they were actually, they said they get notified virtually instantly about fires, but they're almost more concerned with the illegal dumping. Which, if you've seen what's in there, it's an environmental disaster. There are truckloads and truckloads of dismantled houses dumped in there.
Yeah.
So anyhow, I think, please keep us in the loop on this, because I think we have lots of parties that would really be willing to jump into this and really advocate for a really adequate system
Yeah.
to start getting control of what's going on in there.
Okay, absolutely.
It would be really good for the Olympics too, to have that kind of
Yeah.
surveillance.
Quick note on the topic of fire, I just received an email from Encino Property Owners Association that notes that they've requested an action plan from the deputy mayor for public safety. Regarding fire in the basin, so just wanted to make you aware of that in case like these are separate, you know, there's so many people working on fire, but wanted to make sure you were in the loop.
Yes, yeah, so the deputy mayor or someone from their staff, better yet, did join us for the walkthrough last week, so I'm in those same meetings.
Okay, good, just wanted to make sure, because it sounds like there's been a lot of different meetings about fire in the basin, it's good to keep it all for minutes.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay, do we have any other questions in the room here? Let me see, turn it around a little. Do we have any questions from attendees? And I am seeing none. Rosie, thank you so much. I do not see any folks from the fire department. See, now it's telling me my internet connection's unstable. Okay, Rosie, thank you. I will call on Gabriel next.
All right, excellent. Well, good evening,
Thank
everyone. My name is, can you hear me okay?
Yes,
Yep. All right, great. Good evening. My name is Gabriel Vargas, or just Gabe is fine. I'm the manager of the Recycle Water Planning and Policy Group from LADWP, and I'm here to provide just a quick update on the progress of the groundwater replenishment project in the Sepulveda Basin. We are continuing to move forward with construction and still on schedule to be completed by the end of 2027. We're continuing our ongoing outreach to every group that will welcome us, from elected officials to students. And then I also just wanted to close with the invite on August 27th from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. The LA Waterkeeper, Pacoima Beautiful, and the Council for Watershed Health is hosting a Making Water work event. It's the Los Angeles Groundwater Replenish Project and Southern California Sustainable Story, and we're going to have it located within the laydown area of the project. It will be both a collection of distinguished speakers and panelists discussing water sustainability, and there will also be a tour of the construction. The idea of the event is to highlight the city's ongoing collaboration with NGOs and acknowledging the fact that we wouldn't be in construction today if it wasn't for your support. I did notice that there are some on the call that may have already received an invite, and if you haven't, I'd like to extend it to you. If you are interested, please forward your name and your email to Pat. And Pat, if you could be so kind to forward that information to me, I didn't want to intercept the process. There is a limited number of that we can accommodate. So if you are interested, please let us know soon. And thank you all for your time. And I'm here to answer any questions.
Glenn,
That was August 27th, from what time to what time?
22nd or 27th?
27th from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and it's going to be located in our laydown area.
Okay.
At Tillman?
We're in the cricket field, former cricket field
Yeah.
area, occupying that area.
At the fenced off cricket fields.
Mhm.
Okay.
So Pat,
Well,
if you could be so kind and help me out and facilitate that, that'd be great.
Yeah, and I'll be in attendance in my LADWP hat.
You'll be there with your LADWP? Okay, great.
I literally have my LADWP.
I would definitely like to go and anyone who wants to go forward, and I will forward to Gabriel. I'm sure I have your email somewhere. If not, if you put it in the.
It's first
Sure, I could drop it in my chat. Let's see.
Okay, great, because that'll download when okay,
Okay, there it is.
thank you. Also on the meeting, I think was Jack still on from Assemblyman Gabriel's office?
Hi, Pat. Yes, I'm still on, just driving, so I'm not gonna
Oh,
try to reach over and
okay.
turn on my video.
Do you have any news for us?
No news. I guess first
Okay,
of all, this is I guess our first time on, so happy to be here and get more connected to this issue. And as far as the meeting next week, happy to talk offline and see who best to have representing the steering committee at the meeting. But yeah, just looking forward to working more on this, and as Rosie said, getting connected and helping everybody be on the same page.
We're really glad to have you here, and for the meeting next week, just a note to the committee, I think we have a couple folks attending from this committee, and I wonder, because it is a topic of the committee, whether it wouldn't be appropriate to have a quorum of members, so I think we probably shouldn't have too many people. Just
Probably not.
for ground actors.
Yeah, it would probably be best not to have a quorum then.
Yeah.
Jack, this is Glenn Bailey. Thanks for jumping in. I understand there may be some, state grant opportunities. I don't know if those through various state agencies. I don't know if those go through your office or not, but since your, assembly districts includes the Sepulveda Basin, I hope you'll, if you do hear of anything, that you'll let us know, especially if they're things that the city, if they're one of the recipient entities, are not already aware of or working on, and then if there's any opportunities for like nonprofit groups as well. Thanks.
Yeah, definitely can let you know. Nothing that's on my radar right now. And generally, like, if folks are applying for grants through state agencies, they wouldn't like notify our office. But if you're having trouble applying, or if there's things that you hear about that you have trouble applying to, or have questions, like, I can definitely, help connect you with the agency that's reviewing the applications. I'd say that's probably the role that I could play in that.
Well, I was actually thinking of something different, which is I would hope that the state agencies are notifying the state legislators, especially for eligible products. So that's what I was actually asking, is if your office gets any notification, if there's anything that may be relevant or eligible that's Sepulveda based, just keep us in mind, okay?
Yeah.
Please.
Definitely.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let me look and thank you, Jack. Thank you for being here to see what we're up to. Let me see if anyone else. I don't see any other government folks there. So I was kind of hoping we'd have someone from the fire department here, but I think that I will say Nareet and I and Dan we've had a walkthrough in some areas in the basin, and we've gotten some information from this company called BurnBot. And I can actually forward a video of what the machine does, but it's a big machine, and it's steered kind of with a joystick, but it's big and it burns about an 8-foot wide controlled burn, emitting no smoke or particulates, because anything that would normally go off as smoke, it is completely incinerated, and then the particulate matter is trapped. So it's very clean. It can burn fire breaks. It can burn a pattern that you can then do controlled burns within for very small areas, so you don't violate AQMD rules. And I think we're going to, at some point in August, have a get together with them.
Yeah, hopefully, and others would be welcome to join. I think it's a very promising technology. They're doing a lot of work in Northern California, and they have some funding already through CAL FIRE. So LAFD was very interested. The other thing that I found most interesting, if Pat did not share this already, my apologies, I'm waiting for AAA and had to take it out for a second. Is that they have a combination of the burn equipment and mastication equipment that they found is particularly good for getting rid of invasive seeds like black mustard. So when they do the mastication followed by burning, they find that the native seeds are able to withstand the burning and come back, but it kills the black mustard seeds. So that's, I think, my highest interest in this technology for the basin is not only that it could help us do the prescribed burns that LAFD has been interested in doing in a safer, more controlled way, but also that it may be a solution to help us manage invasives, which has been a long-standing problem. So very exciting. I was connected to them through a colleague working in the resilience space and had an initial meeting and thought it might be a really good fit for the basin. So I was glad that LAFD is interested. They, some of the LAFD folks knew some of the folks with this company have been in fire for a long time, including someone who was with LA County Fire. So they actually knew each other. Captain Weedy knew some of the folks. So some good connections there, and we look forward to seeing it develop. I think, we made the introduction to Army Corps. So Hannah was it Trevor?
Yeah,
In charge of that connection, and then we're waiting to hear back from Rec and Parks, but again, Matt was out of town when I sent my email, so I'm gonna poke again on that, but hopefully we can follow up and actually make this happen.
great. Muriel, you've got your hand up.
Yes.
Go, we can hear you.
Okay, okay, good. Question, I was having a little trouble understanding, Nurit, she's a bit far from the microphone, I think.
Sorry.
Nurit, did you say
No
that
problem.
the burn bot does destroy the seeds?
Yeah, so they have two different technologies. But then they also have a mastication technology where they're cutting down vegetation and then chopping it up and putting it into the ground. What they've found, and the whole goal of everything they're doing is to do fuel management in a more ecologically sound way. They have biologists on staff. They're working with Stanford on some research. Some of their equipment has LiDAR stuff on board to help, read vegetation. It can also work in challenging, this isn't such an issue for us in the basin, but it also works in like challenging hillside areas that might be tough. I've spoken to other colleagues in Northern California who were familiar with the technology from UCA&R, and they mentioned that they think it's really good, but also that it can be more expensive than hand crews. So depending on the amount of space you're trying to tackle, that can be a challenge. So I think what might be the best fit is this combination of BurnBot and hand crews, where BurnBot can come in and draw the lines that surround the prescribed burn, which is traditionally, a more challenging part of it. But anyway, so when they combined the mastication with then a burn following that, what they found was that the seeds that came up after that were the native seeds, and the invasive black mustard was killed by the burn because they don't have as high a heat tolerance. So that was really pretty cool, and I think could be something to test in one of these fields like east of Woodley or something, to see if we can finally get some control on the mustard there and get some of our natives back. So I found that to be the most interesting and exciting for Sepulveda Basin, as well as being able to support LAFD on their trainings and prescribed burns and kind of overall fuel management. So their website is burnbot.com, and they've got some video demonstrations there and stuff that folks can check out. But the other exciting piece is that they do have some funding already, and they've started to do some work in Southern California, including with Caltrans. So it's really good timing for us to incorporate this technological piece along with all the other solutions that we're looking at. And as long as I'm updating on fire stuff, I cannot for the life of me remember if I shared this at a prior meeting, but Rosie mentioning the LA Conservation Corps made me remember that I wanted to note that I also had a very good meeting with Larry Frank with the mayor's office, who is working on a fire resilience corps, not yet funded, but they're going after Prop 4 grant funding to have a workforce development initiative on fuel management around California. They are connecting with, folks in the city to make sure that it's focused on invasive removal and sensitive to native habitat, et cetera, which is encouraging, and we'll stay in touch on that. And at some point, as it moves further along, we might have them come in and connect with the committee as well, but wanted to raise that too. So it's really great to see so much attention finally on the ongoing fire issues in the basin and from so many different agencies and groups. So, but yeah, BurnBot seems very promising, and encourage you to check it out.
Before you walk away from the speaker, what height with can this BurnBot, I mean, how big of?
I think relatively tall. I'm trying to remember. Do you remember, Pat? It did come up in one of our calls. Let me get back to you on that, Glenn. I can send you some of it. They sent a bunch of info by email, I think, some studies from Stanford and other stuff, so.
You
if
mean,
can
how,
forward
how
that.
high stuff can it go over?
Yeah, no, the vegetation removal, like how big of a plant can it tackle? And I can't remember the height.
Well,
It's not gonna take down a tree.
it won't take down it, but they masticate the tree
Right.
and remove it, but no, I mean, definitely like the mustard that this high, they
Yeah.
said it'd go right over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I can
definitely.
imagine,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
heavy duty lawnmower, I'm
But-
talking about even like bushes or something.
Yeah, I
They'll
think
go
they can do
around
some
the
bushes and
bushes.
stuff too, or they'll go around if it's too big, but,
Yeah.
I do have that info by email, Glenn, so I'll send you some more.
I can link their video into the minutes too.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah,
Can I ask something?
good, Terry.
Just as concerned people for birds and knowing that birds nest in thistle and other shrubs when they get dense. Is this something we really want to be advocating that they massively clear without, there's no way for them to like check for birds before they do
No,
that?
Oh, yes, they
Yeah,
absolutely check
they need
for
to be
birds.
outside of nesting season, but also they would have to do the nesting bird survey prior to
Yeah.
it. So as you recall, LAFD wanted to do a prescribed bird previously in the model airplane airport, and there was burrowing out there at the time. I don't think it was proven to be actually nesting, but out of an abundance of caution, that ended up not happening. So birds are definitely having Pat
Well, in
from Audubon and having Dan there as the expert on this, that is the intent.
and realize what has been happening. Last year, 75% of what could burn did burn
Right,
clear.
yeah,
So it's to prevent that from happening.
exactly. That's the things, is that
And it's a threat to the surrounding community. If you get this really overgrown brush and you get the wind going, you can,
Mhm. Yeah,
we do not want to ignite area one of
Exactly.
Encino.
so the short answer is yes, that would be on the radar and addressed, but the longer answer is also that there's significant habitat destruction due to these recurring human caused fires, and therefore the fuels management is a really important tool for preventing that and for restoration if we're successful in getting rid of some of the invasives and supporting
Right.
the native habitat.
And whatever doesn't come back up, of course, you can always go in and seed over it too. But, anyhow. I see no more questions from the group there. I had a few things on here. We don't have the regular, we don't have Dan here, we don't have the native plant people, so I'm really not, going to go into the flooding proposal again, but I think it might be worth looking at some point in the future. So I'm just gonna kind of skip over the rest of 5. For reporting encampments, what I do is I get a photo which gives me the coordinates. And also the what 3 words coordinates and send them over to Rosie's office. And I think that's probably also up to the Rangers. LA 28. Nuri, do you have any idea what the plan is for complex 1, 2, and 3? And 4?
No, I did reach out to LA28 about visiting our committee and having the basin representative come. I them again on that, and see if we can.
There was an article in the LA Times.
Yeah.
And I did look at the games plan on the website, and they now have the LA complex 1, 2, and 3 that shows a picture of the Woodley Golf Course. And 4, they show a picture of Lake Balboa, and I have no idea what they're planning to do.
Yeah.
But of course, they'll have to go for a environmental assessment with the.
I did learn that they put out a very brief RFP for a biodiversity contract, which was interesting. I'm not sure it's for specific like EIR type analysis at this stage, it's more overall, but it is, I think, supposed to address biodiversity of the venues. I learned about this sort of a backwards way from a firm that was bidding on it. I don't know yet who was selected. But they are definitely, it's definitely on their radar. I'm so sorry, excuse me for 1 second, I think this may be the AAA.
You've got AAA coming. Rosie, do you know anything about the Olympic plans, if you're still on the meeting?
Yes, I'm still here. We actually had kind of like a preliminary meeting with LA28 a few weeks ago. And they did let me know that they would be providing me kind of with like
Yeah.
like a locational map of where everything is going to be. This is a good point for me to actually follow up. So let me follow up, and once I get that, I can share it with you all. They are working on a lot of different like ideas and trying to figure out ways to do everything efficiently, but nothing is concrete. So it's just a lot of discussion at the moment. But let me follow up, and then I will have that to you soon.
Oh, thank you so much.
Mhm.
And I assume they'll have to, everything will have to be vetted by the Army Corps. They probably need an environmental assessment, and once they've got more concrete plans.
Yeah, and we've been letting them know too of all the different things that are going on in the basin. So the vision plan, there's also some other construction with like the aquatic center. So there's a lot of overlapping things that are happening that we're also letting them know about. So I will work on more concrete information, and once I have that, I can share it.
Okay, thank you.
While we're on the Olympic,
Glenn has a question,
well, it's not a question, it's
comment.
comment. So a couple of weeks ago, I think I forwarded an invitation to a Olympics and Paralympics session with neighboring councils to an extended list of people interested in the Sepulveda Basin and the Wildlife Committee. And those who registered prior to last Wednesday would have gotten a notice that they've canceled it. They said due to scheduling conflict.
Oh.
But those who didn't register by last Wednesday, everything just sort of went dead, and there's no explanation as far as when you click on the registration, et cetera.
Oh, dear.
So I just wanted to let everyone know that that's what happened. No further information was provided to us. And as such time as they reschedule and I get,
This is the briefing tomorrow is now not happening?
correct.
Okay.
I will similarly, now that I have the list updated, I will similarly forward it once I get the information. But just know this was originally scheduled back in early December. And they postponed it then because that was right about when Councilmember Corian was leaving his council office
Okay,
position and coming on board in his current position. They said they needed some time for him to get up to speed. So anyway, that was December. Now it's July and now it's postponed.
okay, thank you. We'll stay tuned on that. So next on the agenda, I just put a comment regarding the park needs assessment. They've kind of gone dark. They will be, the early fall is slated for releasing their preliminary needs assessment, and then that'll be another opportunity to make comments on it. The proposition for climate bonds. We do need to be aware of that, and that was what Glenn mentioned to Jack is if there's funding opportunities, for example, for a burn bot project or something, we should really be aware of that. The funding is being routed through a number of different agencies, so that's something that could be applied for. And we're up to comments from member organizations. Representatives not related to agenda items. I guess it's comments from the member organizations.
I'll go really fast because I'm gonna step out to AAA for a second.
Okay, Narit's going quick.
LA Audubon, not so directly related, but still maybe of interest to members. Dr. Travis Longford is giving a presentation tomorrow night related to Zone 0 and defensible space. So it is on the fire safety, fire resilience topic, and that is listed on the LA Audubon website with the Zoom link. So just want to mention that, otherwise no updates from that tonight.
I will definitely be there.
Great.
Erin?
Had a couple successful habitat restorations since the last meeting, but most notable update is we have our River Fest
Yes.
on Sunday. So a lot of you folks will be there, and I'm excited to see you. I will be checking people in from the safety of my seat, pick my leg up. But yeah, that's it.
Good, I know that we will have a table there and a bunch of stuffed birds. Terry, do you have anything? They get very upset with me for calling them stuffed birds.
Taxidermy birds.
Any news?
No, I don't think so.
Glenn, do you have any news from either Encino or RCD?
Well, I did attend last night's RCD meeting, but I don't think there was anything from that I want to report. Regarding Encino, I just got the Encino Neighborhood Council e-blast. And in part of that, on the 31st, so Thursday, 6:30, they are publicizing that the issues regarding rampant fires and dangerous encampments in Sepulveda Basin, amongst some other issues with the Encino Property Association. And this says that Mayor Bass, Councilmember Rahman, and State Senator Henry Stern will be in attendance. So that's gonna be via Zoom.
Is that the EPOA meeting?
Yes,
Yeah,
but it's part of this. I mean, it seems to be intertwined with the Encino Neighborhood Council,
okay,
as far as the issues here, so. I know that they're coordinating. So
yeah,
anyway, the point is that they did specifically include in this what I just read about Sepulveda Basin, so
okay,
hopefully that'll hit the radar screen, so,
yes,
and it's open to the public, so.
yeah,
The date again?
That's Thursday, the
Okay.
31st, 6:30 PM.
yeah. I can send the link for that meeting out to the committee when I get home. Do you have any news from Lake Balboa?
No, we didn't meet last month.
Okay.
The focus was on that building. I don't know
Yeah.
what's happening. Did get some news on the bike path. That the bid went out. 2 bids came in, they were turned down.
Oh, really? So it's,
There's still a $17 million shortfall.
oh, wow.
And they don't expect to get any realistic bids that aren't way over that. So,
This
the-
is just, so if someone doesn't understand, this is in regards to the bike path being routed through the basin, correct?
well, yeah, this is the bid for the whole thing
Yeah.
from
Van Alden,
Van Alden
Yeah.
to Balboa. If they just avoided that between White Oak and Balboa, which is gonna be a big problem if they put it there.
Mhm.
They would probably have enough money to,
With the existing.
17 million is quite a shortfall.
It's a large
You said it's a
shortfall.
shortfall?
it is the shortfall, but they said that the stretch between White Oak, Marcelino, said that would be at least 20 million alone. So there's your shortfall.
All right.
They could
That
just
other thing
connect it to
is-
the existing bike path. There is a
Exactly.
bike path right there, just connect
Shoot,
it to the
there's
existing
shoots.
bike.
Yeah,
And that area that runs along Oxnard Boulevard could really use some beautification.
yeah,
That's a
Yeah.
really neglected, unused chunk of,
and it's an
Sure.
amazing bike path.
And
We went down.
that
there,
area
it's
has
really
so
nice.
much
Yeah.
potential along there. It could really be turned into something beautiful.
Yeah,
Sounds like
it would be, that would
treatment.
be the way to go if they could make that pivot and just connect it to that bike path and beautify that area right there. That would be awesome.
They'd
Yeah,
have $3 million.
Well,
right?
they could use
20
that for the beautification.
Right.
There you go.
exactly.
We could put in a couple of plants.
Yeah.
Um,
If they would listen.
Can
to
we
that,
write
you
them
know,
that, Pat?
yes,
Can we write them a note to that regard, that would be our recommendation?
I will send you the emails from Marcelino's off there.
Yeah.
The designer sent emails explaining the situation, so I'll send them to you. And then maybe
I don't see any problem with sending that to them.
include Melanie's letter that said, you know, we're just counting on redoing this when they widen the.
Yeah, I mean, if they can't afford to put it in.
So make sure it's habitat related. I mean, if you're making the argument, the landscaping along the Oxnard bike path is habitat.
Big for wildlife habitat, of course it is.
The other news on bike paths, it's related but not
Yeah.
local, is the equestrian people have sued to stop that path at Griffith Park.
Okay, well, that's definitely.
Okay,
not-
yeah.
that's definitely not our purview.
Okay.
I'll just say a couple words about, San Fernando Valley Audubon. It looks like we'll be continuing our, student environmental education program with our CD. We basically fund our CD for taking about 2,000 LAUSD school kids on field trips in the basin. So we'll be looking at the contract for that at our upcoming September meeting. We're just continuing on with our regular bird walks. We, every time there's a habitat restoration event, we provide people to, take the volunteers on a bird walk, so they get a little extra exposure to the basin. And, other than that, it's summer, everything's kind of funky, the birds are not happy, they're all molting.
Pat, can I pipe in?
Yes,
Okay,
please.
this is Muriel. Can you hear me?
yes,
I just wanted to encourage, since we have Rosie here, and since Pat or Nareed or both of you know some of the people from the mayor's office, maybe this issue of rerouting the bike path to where it was in the first place could be pushed there, because I would think that the council office and the mayor's office might have some drag with LA, with the funding people. And funding people always have a lot of say about what happens.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will see what we can do. It,
Rosie, I know it's outside you, I think it's outside your district, Rosie, but I know you're taking an interest in the basin overall. So I don't
It
know
is-
if
it's
you're
in
following
Rose's
what we're
district.
talking about.
Yeah, no, we're definitely involved, especially because that proposed bike path is gonna go all the way to the area behind the dog park, so that's our area. But what I would
is that-
recommend is, sorry, go ahead.
So is Oxnard, right?
You
Yeah,
you
bike
know
path.
that there's
Yes.
there's an existing bike path right there already, right?
Yeah, well, just so jurisdictionally, it's us and I believe CD4, but if you all are planning on writing something up, I would just recommend once you do to also send it to me so I can get our planning people involved in that email chain, and then they'll kind of know what to do from there. I will be honest, I'm trying to be involved in everything, but there's only so much I could do. So I don't know too much of what's happening with the bike path and all the details surrounding it. But in regards to the committee writing the letter with some suggestions, I can definitely get that to the right people. So that I can definitely help with.
That'd be
Thank
great.
you, Rosie.
Have you been past the bike? Have you seen what the existing bike path is on any of your walkthroughs? Are you aware of it?
Yes, yeah, I have seen it before.
So you've seen the Oxnard bike path,
Mhm.
how it needs attention, but it's also just sitting right there. It's already there.
No,
Yeah,
I know we've had a lot of conversations about the already existing one, so.
The idea to get this done and the money's there, except the shortfall.
Yeah.
That this could be done if it's a Olympic push to get it done to the other two bike paths.
Yeah.
Is not a bad idea.
No.
If everyone doesn't want to dig in their heels.
Okay, so we will kind of coordinate what we're doing. Rosie, isn't your territory doesn't it start like at the middle of Oxnard Street going north?
Yes, so I mean, Oxnard would technically be our Van Nuys deputy, right? But I work with her, so it is still partially our office, so.
Yeah, I'm not sure where I thought the boundary ran right down the middle of Oxnard Street, but I may be mistaken.
It's
Well,
around there. It's just that's why there's kind of like a lot of back and forth between us and CD4 because it's kind of right in the middle. So yeah, that's gonna require some coordination. But
Well,
regardless,
is that-
a letter is definitely something that if you all want to do, I can, like I said, help get it to the right people. And then-
Okay.
yeah.
And White Oak is your border
Yes.
on the west.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
except that the CD6 doesn't go all the way to White Oak. Along Oxnard, it cuts off
Right.
to the residential area
Yeah,
because of the gerrymandering that happened.
yeah,
So you have most of the Oxnard stretch,
but not where
East.
the residences start again.
right? So,
Yeah,
so there's gonna be both CD4 and CD6
Mhm.
that would be involved with a continuation. Because CD4 clearly has everything west of White Oak, so.
Right,
They also have this stretch of about 1/3 or so to the east of White Oak. To the end of those homes.
yeah,
So, anyway, whatever that's worth, CD4, CD6 work together. And if that turns out to be the way to get something,
so why don't we share a little draft among ourselves and get that over there. I mean, if they can't get funding for the thing.
I was gonna say too, if make a draft and share it with me. I can also share it to my contacts over at CD4, and I'll also invite. They have a new field deputy that covers the Reseda Encino area, and so I met him a few weeks ago. So I can also invite him to these meetings just so he's aware of any overlapping issues over onto CD4. So I'll also
Yeah.
send a copy of that letter to their office.
same as Denton.
Yes.
Denton,
Yeah,
I just wanna make sure that we stay in our lane. And that if we're advocating for native plantings,
absolutely.
habitat, that provides some quote habitat.
It will.
I know, it's better
Yes.
than palm trees. Okay, because I don't want to set a
But
precedent.
I will do a draft. and-
Habitat and biodiversity.
Exactly, biodiversity, just
Okay.
like my front lawn.
And well, we always asked about maintenance and enforcement of that area.
Yeah.
And we never got an answer. That BOE said, we'll do that after it's constructed. And the Oxnard path, has been an issue.
Mhm.
So
That area that land is just waiting to be planted.
yeah, and Rosie, you would have such a headache if this went through.
Anyhow,
And you guys would hear.
okay,
too.
And technically, it's not in the Sepulveda Basin, because the right of way was the railroad right of way.
right.
So it was not part of the Army Corps basin,
But it's
whatever.
contiguous.
I know, but it connects and.
It's contiguous.
We're looking at a connection. So.
But it would be nice to get it done.
Melanie, do you have
Right.
any updates from River Project?
Not at the moment, no thanks.
The money.
I don't, and
Okay, guys, unless anyone has anything, I think we can call it a night.
Thank you.
So it is, let me check here,
7:57.
7:57.
7:57. Thank you, Pat.
The meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Okay. Good night.
Thank you.
I just couldn't imagine what they're